Hi guys, welcome to Northern Oz Explorer. I'm Drew. As you can see, the Hilux has had a fair bit of equipment fitted to it since the last video. If you didn't watch the last video, I'll put a link for it in the description below and in the video above. This video, I'll run through the equipment that we've had fitted and some of the reasons behind why we've chosen that equipment. So let's get started. First of all, just as an overview of the equipment we've got fitted, we had the front bull bar, the underbody protection, recovery points at the front, left and right, safari snorkel, side rails, side stepped, ARB, ascent canopy, the rhino rack, roof rack, and the rear bar at the rear of the vehicle. In case you hadn't noticed, the equipment that's been fitted is mainly ARB. ARB seems to have a habit, as most off-road manufacturers do, of predominantly displaying their logo on the equipment that they fit to vehicles. I've counted no less than 13 different locations on this car is the ARB logo. It's absolutely ridiculous. They really should be paying me for advertising in driving around what's essentially a mobile billboard. So why do we choose ARB? Well, there's a number of aftermarket four-wheel drive accessories companies. You've got ARB, TJM, Ironman. We got quotes from both ARB and TJM. The equipment that we looked at was very similar in both circumstances. TJM was actually quite a bit cheaper, but when we went back to ARB and asked them to price match, they didn't quite price match, but they knocked about 10% off the price of all of the equipment that we had quoted for. So if there's one piece of advice I can give to people is, if you are going to get your cars fitted out, get it done in bulk, and it gives you more of a case of arguing for a larger discount. So with that discount, it was still more expensive than TJM, but I tend to like the look of the ARB products a little bit more. In addition to that, the canopy is an ARB canopy rather than one of the ones that TJM sells, and we preferred the setup of the ARB canopy, and I'll run through a little bit later on why that's the case. As you can see, ARB allow you to colour code the external protection equipment to any colour you want. We had it colour coded to a colour called graphite, which is just a colour that you can buy Hiluxes in. We didn't want to go with white and colour code it to the vehicle because I think white bull bars on white cars, it just, for some reason, it looks a little bit strange. Any other colour looks fine, but you can see that the result is quite good and it looks quite smart. So first of all, the main piece of equipment, and which is essential for off-road travel, especially in the northern areas of Australia where you have buffalo, kangaroos and other wildlife, is a bull bar. The bull bar provides full frontal protection for your car. We got the full bull bar with the hoops to make sure that if we strike an animal, then obviously we're going to be safe. The ARB products has full integration with all of the safety systems, including the airbags and the Toyota Safety Sense radar cruise control to make sure that it all operates. There's plenty of room on the bull bar for the future if and when we install driving lights and a winch. It's all compatible and you can just get it all fitted. You don't have to remove the bull bar to do so, which is a good advantage. So under the front of the vehicle, you can see there's recovery points left and right, which have been fitted, which is essential when you're traveling off-road, traveling in convoy with someone. You can just chuck on a snatch strap and be pulled straight out. Also have underbody protection for the front of the vehicle, which protects all the vital components under the engine to make sure that you're not going to damage them. The Hilux does come with original equipment that does have some protection. However, the ARB product's not that expensive and it was worth putting on with everything else just to make sure that we had a good solid aftermarket protection for the undercarriage of the vehicle. So moving around to the side of the vehicle, we got fitted a safari snorkel, which is absolutely essential in the northern part of Australia, especially during the wet season. Going through water crossings, you need to make sure that you raise your air intake. They're also good for just off-road use in general. Because you've got a higher intake for your engine, you get less ingress of dust and other particles which can affect your engine performance, and it keeps your air filter nice and clean. We also got side steps, which are a quality side step. They're attached to the chassis, provide really good underbody protection, can obviously support a fair bit of weight. The original equipment that's fitted on the Hilux is a plastic side step. They're fairly cheap and flimsy. They're not really going to provide you with any protection, hence why we went with those side steps. In addition to that, we also got the side rails just to provide a little bit more protection to the front fenders of the vehicle whilst we're traveling off-road. Also good for going through scrub, just making sure we keep anything clear of the front fender and tyres. So we've had a Rhino rack system fitted, which is just a platform modular type system. I haven't used these in the past. On my previous four-wheel drive, I had a front runner system, which was very similar. Basically, it was a modularized system and you just add different pieces to it to fit accessories. You can fit a wide range of accessories to these racks: shovels, high lift jacks, spare tires, jerry cans, all sorts of other bits and pieces. You just buy the appropriate attachment and accessory, and then it bolts straight on there. One of the reasons that we chose the Ascent canopy and the ARB products rather than what TJM had on offer was that it has, the ARB Ascent canopy has an internal support structure for the roof rack. So what that does is provide an extra layer of support for anything you put on the roof. That was something that we thought was quite a good idea, whereas the TJM canopies are just supported by the structure of the canopy itself with no additional support. Moving on to the rear of the vehicle, you can see that we've had fitted the ARB Ascent canopy, which is a fiberglass canopy, doesn't have a lot of weight. It's fully integrated with the vehicle, so it's controlled by central locking. There's no extra keys or anything to open up. It's really simple. If you want to open up the side panels, there's just a button on the front of the canopy. You can open them up. There's gull wing doors on both sides. It's a really good piece of equipment. The rear lifts up as well. There's an LED light inside and it's pressurized to make sure that you don't have any dust ingress. We also had fitted the rear bar, which provides a bit of underbody protection to the rear quarter panels of the vehicle, as well as a tow bar hitch as well, which is important for towing, which is something that I do from time to time. So you can see in the rear of the vehicle, in the tub, there's a fair bit of room with the canopy on top. As I've mentioned before, the intention is to kit this out with some drawers. We're looking around now at a couple of different drawer systems. There'll be a fridge slide as well to come out for easy access as well. Hopefully there's a water tank and a 12-volt system to supply all of our electrical needs. One of the things we considered when buying the Hilux was whether to get a tub with and fit a canopy on the back, or to put on a custom canopy, buy a cab chassis and then put on a custom canopy. The SR5 you can't actually buy in a cab chassis. It has to come with a tub on the back. So it seemed like a bit of a waste of money to buy the SR5, which is the model that we wanted, get rid of the tub and fit an aftermarket canopy. Although a canopy is better in some respects, they are more expensive, and we think with the setup that we're going to have here, this will perfectly suit our needs. However, canopies are a really good option, and it depends on the type of setup that you want for your vehicle, as well as what model you're buying. There's not a lot of point in buying a vehicle, you're paying for the tub, and then just disposing of the tub because you wanted a particular model. So we're going to get this all fitted out in the back, and then we'll be just about ready to take our adventures off-road. So that's a bit of an overview of the first stage fit out for our Hilux. If you've enjoyed this video and you found it useful, please make sure to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel. It'll also make sure that you don't miss any of our upcoming videos and adventures that we're going to have once we finish building our Hilux. As always, thanks for watching.